All right, so far you have learned how to add a fraction and a fraction, and you've learned how to subtract a fraction and a fraction. Today we are going to learn how to add mixed numbers, and it is very similar to adding fraction to fraction. So if you've got that, you should be more than good. So we're going to do 2 1/4 plus 3 2/3. Okay? So just like when we added fractions, we had to make a model. If we pretended that 2 wasn't there, we made a model for 1/4, and we would make a model for 2/3. Okay? But this time we have to make whole models. We have to make 2 of them. So really 2 1/4 is actually going to equal 3 area models. 2 models for your 2 wholes and 1 model for your fraction. Okay? So 2 1/4 is kind of going to look like this. Okay? 2 for my wholes and 1 for my fraction. I have to split all of them into fourths. Okay. So each one of my models is split into fourths. Now, I have to shade this whole one to equal 1 whole. But I actually have 2 wholes, so I have to shade another one. If the whole thing is shaded 4/4, that equals a whole. Okay, so that represents my 2 wholes, my 2. But I still have 1/4 that I have to shade, so I'm going to shade one of these. Okay, good so far. I have 2 wholes, and I have 1/4. Now I'm going to do my next model. 3 wholes and 2/3. So I have to have 3 models for my 3 wholes, and I have to have a model for my fraction. That's 4 altogether. Okay. I have to split these into thirds. Okay. I have 3 wholes, so 3 of these have to be completely filled in. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. 3/3 equals 1 whole. 3/3 equals 1 whole. 3/3 equals 1 whole. So 1, 2, 3 is how I got my 3 wholes. But now I need to shade in 2/3 for my fraction. Okay, so right now I have 2 1/4 modeled out for you. I have 3 2/3 modeled out for you. Just like adding fractions before, we need to split these fourths now into thirds. So I'm going to take these and split it 3 ways. Okay. And I'm going to take these thirds and I'm going to split them 4 ways. Okay. Looks good so far, right? Now I'm going to get 2 new equations. If I just look at my first model, I have 1, 2 wholes, and I have 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that 2 1/4 is now 2 3/12. Plus I have 1, 2, 3 wholes, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are my denominators the same? Yes, they are. So I can go ahead and add. The first thing I'm going to do is add my whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5. If I add my numerators, 3 plus 8, I get 11 over 12. And that's my answer. So remember, adding mixed numbers is very similar to just adding fractions and fractions. You just have to make sure you draw out your models for your wholes. All right, keep practicing at home.